Hey guys, thanks so much for joining us last night in our time of prayer. I want to continue to let you know from time to time, God brings your name up into our hearts and we consider you sufficiently to pray for you. We continue to hold you before the throne of God, asking Him to break through and to have you get to the place where you can serve Him in spirit and in truth with joy and gladness. Hey, come on, let me just see if I could get some more of this stuff into you today. I continue to read from Philippians chapter 3, beginning at verse 12. He says, I don't mean to say that I have already achieved these things or I have already reached perfection, but I press on to possess that perfection for which Christ Jesus first possessed me. And that's a point we've got to get to. God had a plan in mind. He had a goal in mind when He went out looking for me. It is as if God had a job and He went looking for the best candidate. It's as though God had a responsibility and He went out looking for the person most capable of fulfilling that responsibility. Oh, I'm talking about you. You were intentionally sought after by God, as if God were a major transnational corporation and He went out headhunting. We say headhunting because He went out looking for somebody specific so that they might fulfill a requirement that only they can. That's you, my friend. So now, because God has enlisted you in the service so that you might fulfill that very, very core and important responsibility, that's God's intention. But if we want to do the will of God, God's intention must become our intentions, our priorities, our sense of duty. So Paul says, I haven't reached it as yet. You've got to understand, Paul is many years in the ministry and he's still saying, guys, I'm working through some stuff. When he gets to Timothy, he says, I've run the race, I've finished the course. Now I know there's a prize laid up for me. But until that time, he's saying, guys, I still have some issues inside of me that I've got to work through. And I stand with you today. If you, like me, have some stuff we've got to work through. But if we hang up our boots and say, we've achieved more than next door and we've achieved more than up the road, then we're not pushing towards the mark set by God. That's the mark that is crucial. I hope you're there with me this morning, because today we resolve. Yesterday we cut the strings of the parachute. Today we are resolving. We have not reached the goal. We may be better than some, but we have not reached the goal that we were called for. You have not reached the goal you were called for. It means now we've got to get our energies back in the space so that we can push to the finish line. I hope you're ready to push today.